But teacher, when are we ever going to use math in the real world?
With Kelley Blue Book My Wallet on AutoTrader, you don't have to. At least not car math. Hit the road with confidence knowing exactly what you're going to pay each month for your car. AutoTrader.
Faith Ringgold was a master of interpreting political movements through her art, from narrative quilts to powerful paintings. But in 1970, the police thought she'd gone too far, and they arrested her for making this poignant and possibly illegal statement. I'm Cydney, and this is 2 Minute Black History, what you didn't learn in school. On November 13th, 1970, New York City police raided Judson Memorial Church. Faith Ringgold, John Hendricks, and John Tosh had just wrapped up day 5 of their art show. The charge? Desecrating the U.S. flag. The exhibit, called the People's Flag Show, was a bold response to censorship. 3 years earlier, in 1967, an art gallery owner was convicted for displaying anti-Vietnam War art featuring the flag. Ringgold and her collaborators knew this wasn't right, so they decided to fight back. They invited artists to submit pieces resisting censorship and repression. And for days, they showcased everything from paintings to performances. One artist even burned a flag. The backlash was swift, and the raid led to their arrest. All 3 artists were fined $100 for mutilating the flag. That's about $800 today. But they didn't stay quiet. They declared, quote, "We have been convicted, but it is this nation and these courts who are guilty." Guilty of what? Mutilating human beings throughout U.S. history. With the ACLU's help, their convictions were overturned. But the story doesn't end there. Faith Ringgold continued to reclaim the flag in her work, while the state spun a whitewash tale that the U.S. symbolized freedom and hope. Ringgold used her art to flip that narrative and expose the violent hypocrisy behind the U.S. flag. In 1989, the Supreme Court ruled that burning the flag is a protected right under the First Amendment. But even today, protest and dissent are still criminalized. Artists like Faith Ringgold remind us that as much as the U.S. claims to be the land of the free, its reign of domestic and global terror tells a very different story. In order to move toward the future, you've got to look to the past. This has been 2 Minute Black History, a podcast by Push Black. If you enjoyed this episode and want to show your support, please rate and subscribe to our podcast. Together, let's celebrate and honor the legacy of Black history.